Hi there, I'm Professor Jurus, and what I wanted to go over tonight is the Rembrandt light, also known as the 45. If you'll notice on the side of her face a triangle of light, that is called the Rembrandt light, the 45. And if you start watching movies now, you'll actually see this lighting pattern take place in a lot of dramatic movies. Now, if you notice the side of her face also, I don't have a fill card in here yet, or I'm not using a fill light either. I'm only using the main light, and I'll show you in some pictures toward the end the actual lighting where the position of the light is. But my light is up on the left-hand side, and it's fairly high, and it's also tilted on a 45-degree angle down, so the light is coming down, and you want it to cast a perfect triangle of light across the top of the eye, going down low and then coming back up. So it should look like a triangle. You don't want to have the triangle go below the eye. A lot of times people that don't really know what they're doing, maybe you'll put a triangle of light below the eye and think that's a Rembrandt light. The Rembrandt light has to light the eye up. And the reason being, if you're using this is a common used portrait lighting pattern for high-end portrait photographers. You won't find this in your everyday portrait studio, but people that know what they're doing use these lighting patterns. So the 45-degree or Rembrandt light will actually light up the eye. You wouldn't want a portrait with somebody's eye totally in darkness, so that's why you light that up. Now if you notice this side of the face over here, this side of the face is also in shadow quite a bit, and if you wanted something very dramatic you could leave it like that, but I'm just going to put a fill card in here real quick just to show you the difference by lighting up this side of the face with the fill card. But the key to putting the fill card is also when you're looking at it, you want to make sure that you don't blow out the Rembrandt light. You should still be able to see the Rembrandt light, so you don't want so much fill that the fill is equal to the lighting on the Rembrandt triangle. So just right there, and you can see the position of the fill card now, and you can see the way that dramatically changes. I'll take it out of the picture, and then I'll put it back in the picture. And it's pretty much with digital now, what you see is what you get, but it's kind of like that with film too, if you look at it, if you expose properly. Now, when I'm setting up lights, and I'll get into another video more about exposures, but when I'm setting up lights, I need to set them for a correct lighting ratio. And when I'm doing that, I'm actually meter reading the light. But when I'm actually taking a portrait, my exposure is based on the natural scene, and I usually expose, again, just like your common rule, I would take my light meter reading over here on the shadow side with an incident light meter, because you expose for your shadows and you print for your highlights when you're making a picture. I think that about covers it, so let me show you some other pictures of the way the lights are positioned and stuff. Thank you. Here's a still shot of the position of the light that I used to cast the Rembrandt light on Dr. Jocelyn. So what you can see is off on the right hand side here, your position of your light is generally about 3 feet away from the head. It's slanted on a 45-degree angle or tilted to a 45-degree angle, and it's easy to remember that because this is a 45-degree light, or also known as the Rembrandt light, and it's fairly high. So what I do is I put it up here in the front, and it's casting the thing down, and I want to have a nice triangle of light lighting up the eye. And you can also see the position of the fill card at this point. And then finally, here's a still picture of the final portrait of Dr. Jocelyn. It's a 45-degree Rembrandt light, and what you can see is the light pattern of light, the triangle illuminating the eye, and you can still see nice detail in the skin. Here's your spectral highlights up here, nice detail in the shadow here still remaining. So again, a beautiful portrait, and I hope that helps. Thank you.